Welcome back to These Things Are Written on this Monday. Hope you had a blessed second Sunday in Advent this weekend in worship and time with family preparing for the holidays. But yet remember, before we get there, we have this time that we're going through the first chapter of Luke in preparation for the Christmas story, which will happen on that week of Christmas. So let's get started with our reading. Actually, before we do that, a reminder of where we went through last week up through verse 23. It told the story of Zechariah and Elizabeth, of how they were barren, unable to have children. They were advanced in age. Zechariah went into the temple to light the incense on the altar of incense. He had the angel Gabriel come to him and tell him that he was going to have a child. He was mute and he returned home. And we're just going to read two verses now for today, verses 24 and 25, and talk a little bit more about that. Let's continue. After these days, his wife Elizabeth conceived, and for 5 months she kept herself hidden, saying, "Thus the Lord has done for me in the days when he looked on me, to take away my reproach among people." This really kind of connects to some of the lessons in the Old Testament, doesn't it? I think of Abraham and Sarah and how Sarah in her old age conceived a son, Isaac. And let's not forget about Hannah. Almost forgot about Hannah. Let's not forget about Hannah and her being barren and praying to the Lord and being gifted the gift of Samuel, and how she rejoiced. Actually, there's a lot of parallels in this between Elizabeth and that passage, those chapters in 1 Samuel that talks about Hannah and Samuel as well. And some of which we'll get to later, the Magnificat that Mary speaks also reflects a little bit from Hannah's song in 1 Samuel. We'll get there later. The point is, there were other women in the Old Testament who cried out to the Lord because they were barren. Remember that being barren was seen as being a curse from God. It says she kept hidden for 5 months. Why? We can simply speculate, but that's about all. In a way, I think that Luke shows this to demonstrate the hiddenness of God. That even though God's plan was in place, it was being hidden until that time when he could reveal it to Mary. And by the way, who is the first one to talk to Elizabeth? It seems like it is Mary. That is when the whole plan gets exposed, gets shown a little bit more. And until that time, Elizabeth is keeping herself hidden away from everyone, kind of reveling in this moment that she has to enjoy that blessings that God has given to her. God has shown grace to Elizabeth. Notice what she says, "Thus the Lord has done for me in the days when he looked on me, to take away my reproach among the people." The curse that she had among the people because she was unable to have children has been taken away. And in a way, it has been taken away much more so than with others. He has shown grace in Elizabeth's life, taking away the curse, but more so, God is preparing a way for the Lord through her child. Tomorrow, we start looking at the birth narrative of Jesus, or the pre-birth narrative, the announcement of Jesus to Mary. We'll talk to you more about that tomorrow. God bless.